am making a super easy apple bread.
Got my spice cake mix. You can use yellow cake mix or white cake mix if you want. Just add your cinnamon and your nutmeg and your cloves and allspice if you want. Oops, I forgot to cut up my apples. And this is purely optional, but vanilla if you want, just to give it a little bit of flavor. We are going to give you our Dining on a Dime cookbook ebook, volume number 1, free at livingonadime.com. Click on our shop, click on our ebooks, click on Dining on a Dime volume 1, add it to your cart. When you go to checkout, use the coupon code DINING1. And you will get our ebook absolutely free with no obligation and no strings attached. Visit us at livingonadime.com. And this is also 100% optional. Add some nuts. Do walnuts or pecans, both would be really good. You want a simple apple cake recipe or Dining on a Dime cookbook volume 1 has one from scratch that you can also try if you would like. The link is in the description below. Got my loaf pan. Spraying it with my oil. Spray it in my pan. And because I like my apple stuff extra cinnamony, I'm going to take cinnamon sugar and sprinkle it on top. You don't have to do this, but I like the crunchy top. All right. Now we're gonna bake this. The recipe is in the description below. All right, here is my apple bread. Okay, so take your spatula. Now, I have a live show on my other channel in half an hour that I gotta get ready for. So, I am going to take this out, even though it's still a little bit warmer than it should be. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to cut into this. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on its side so it will cool quicker, so that hopefully I can cut it before the show and taste test it. All right, my show is in 5 minutes. So even though this isn't completely cooled, I'm going to cut into it. Try to do it delicately. Oh my goodness. All right, Mike's not here, so I'm going to taste test. Oh, that is darn tootin' good. Oh, yum. I am making apple dumplings, and I saw this recipe and thought, ooh, I want to try that. So you want to take 1 apple. Now the recipe calls for Granny Smith. I never, ever, ever use Granny Smith for my baking. And I know that just goes against everything that the majority of people believe, but I think Granny Smith is just too tart and I don't like it. So that's why I don't. So then you want to peel. You don't have to peel if you don't want to. I'm just doing a light peeling here. Okay, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut this into 8s for your apple. Then we're going to take our crescent rolls. My family absolutely loves these things. So whenever I make anything with these, they are always there, ready to grab some. Then all you're gonna do is put your apple in and roll it up, tuck it under, just like so. Now we're going to take a measuring cup and half a cup of butter, and I'm going to melt my butter. Okay, got my butter, and now I'm going to add my brown sugar. My vanilla. And cinnamon. I'm not going to put nutmeg in. My family's not real particularly fond of nutmeg. And I am adding a pinch of salt. Here's a little FYI. In case you didn't know, salt brings out the sweet flavor in things. So that's why I salt like my watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew. Yes, I do put salt on all of them. Okay, we're going to mix this together. And we're going to put these evenly in here. Oh, yum. Okay. Then I'm going to pour this all over my apples and crescents. And then we're going to take some lemon lime soda. You do however much you want. Or I mean, whatever brand you want. You can't do however much you want. Then I'm going to pour this over the top. And then we are going to bake this. Oh my goodness. Those look so darn tootin' delicious. Ooh, we're gonna let this cool for just a little bit and then we'll have Mike taste test. Oh my goodness, yum. Yum, yum, yum. All right, there we go. Okay, my messy kitchen. Oops, sorry, Jonathan. Okay, it's an apple dumpling. Don't burn the hide off of your mouth.
Ooh, it smells really good.
What do you think?
Mmm. Yum, that's good.
Is it delicious?
Mm-hmm.
Does it taste like an apple dumpling?
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mike said the apple needs more sugar. So if you want to coat your apples in cinnamon and sugar, you can. Although I thought it tasted fine, but have you had an apple dumpling before?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's the way it tasted to me, but you like more sugar.
It's good, but more sugar might make it a little better.
I'm making an applesauce cake. First thing I'm going to do is spray my pan. Oh, crud. I forgot this is a loaf pan. Oh well, we're making it into a cake. Yeah, let's see how many cups of flour. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make it into a cake like this, even though it's also a loaf pan. Why? Because I'm Tara and it's my cookbook and I will do what I want. Okay, getting my shortening, a half a cup. Now, I'm just gonna fill, I've got a 1 cup measure here, so I'm just gonna fill it halfway. And down to the very last of my shortening. Getting it all scraped out. Got a comment that someone was very disturbed that I didn't use a scraper on one of my last videos because I just used a spoon. Oh my, the travesty, the travesty. Even though I got the majority of the stuff out of the bowl. It just always amazes me what people... All right, and then 1.5 cups of sugar. 1.5. And 2 eggs. Salt and cinnamon and cloves. The recipe is in the description below. This is from our Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1 right there on page 277. This was my grandma's recipe. You can see by the recipe card. You can see I make it a lot by the condition of my book. The condition of my cookbook, I should say. All right, I got my 2 tablespoons of water and then my 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Dissolve it in there. And my 2.5 cups of flour. All right, now I'm gonna grab my applesauce. This is my homemade applesauce that I had in the freezer, trying to get it used up. There's 1. And 1/2 cups. Alright, now, like I said, the recipe calls for a loaf pan, but I'm making this into a cake shape. And I will bake it for probably, I don't know, probably 30 minutes or so, instead of an hour like the recipe says. Okay, put it in the oven. How to make buttercream icing. Put your butter or your margarine or your shortening in with just a little bit of vanilla. I add just a titch of butter flavoring. I think it just makes it taste better. And I add just a tiny bit of salt and my powdered sugar. Oops. And just a bit of milk. If you're dairy-free, feel free to use dairy-free milk. Yeah, I don't know if my margarine is. Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm gonna add the rest of my okay. Making a huge mess because the powdered sugar got opened incorrectly. I don't know if that was me or one of the kids, but we love us all anyway. All right, and now I'm going to take a little taste to make sure. That is really good. Oh my goodness, that is delicious. Okay. Yum. Now we're gonna ice our cake. This recipe is in our Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 1. I'm gonna test and see if my cake is done. Oh, it's not. So can you see it jiggling in the center there? I know it's not done there. All right, here's my apple cake, and we're gonna let it cool, and then we're gonna frost it. Got my cake and my frosting. Yum-a-rummo. And then, in order not to tear your cake, pile your frosting in the center and just work its way out. And then you won't tear your cake. All right. Oh, doesn't that look delicious? All right, there is our apple cake. We're making hot apple cider or wassail, whatever, mulled cider, whatever you want to call it. This is apple cider that I just got at Walmart. And I'll be honest, we went to the Old Hollow apple cider mill, and I think this tastes just as good.
What?
The apple cider mill was really fun, but just get the Walmart stuff, it's fine. It's a lot cheaper. All right, now, if you're making this as a gift, you'll want to put your spices in and just mix them up. Now, what I do is I just get a little bag like this and I just combine them in there. Now, whole allspice is what you want, but we don't have a spice store here. So I just use the powdered because I don't want to spend a huge amount of money just on a few things of allspice that I need. All right, and then what we're gonna add is our brown sugar. Yum-a-rummo. Just put it in a little baggie like this. I could have just put it in the baggie, I guess. That was kind of dumb. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, and then you have your mulling spices. Here's how you make the apple cider. All right, you're gonna turn your heat on low because you don't want your apple cider to burn. Then make sure you shake up your apple cider because the bits do settle down at the bottom, okay? Now, I love this little pan. I'll link it down below, but it has the measurements right here. Now, this is a half a batch because I'm the only one who drinks it in my family. Mike says he'll drink it too. Okay, so I don't have the whole allspice. Once again, cinnamon stick and my cloves. Oops, I just made a mess. And my brown sugar, just like that. Okay, then we're just gonna stir to dissolve the brown sugar, and we're gonna let this just cook for about 20 minutes on medium low. Now you can let this simmer all day long and it will be perfectly fine. Just make sure you have it on the warm or very low setting so that it doesn't just all evaporate. The recipe for wassail is in our Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 1, the red cover. On page 40, this is our family's traditional recipe that we use for Christmas and Thanksgiving. This is a family tradition for us. Apple pie cake, version 2, spice cake mix. Now, if you need apple pie spice, let's say you have a white cake mix, not a spice. You could use a white cake mix and apple pie spice in Dining on a Dime Volume 1 on our website, Living on a Dime. Then a pie filling. And my eggs. All right, the recipe is in the description below. Just mix this all together. All right, I got my 9 by 13 that I have sprayed with oil. All right, we're gonna bake this, and then we're gonna cut it and see what Mike thinks. It is straight out of the oven. It smells like an apple pie. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to cut into this. We're gonna let it cool just a little bit. I'm not going to frost this one. Oops, I got a little Cool Whip left. Oh, yum. That looks delicious. Mmm. Oh man, that's good.
So this one is an unknown miscellaneous apple thing. Tara said it's an apple pie cake, I guess. So this apple pie cake, we're gonna try this. Yum. She's wounded, that's why she's not here.
She's temporarily out of commission.
Yes. See, she just gives it up for y'all. Okay, trying this one. Apple pie cake. Mmm. That's even more like an apple pie. That is delicious. Yum. I'm glad we're going to take this to a party tonight.
I'm making an apple fritter bake. I am using my trusty cast iron skillet. Now, you do not have to use a cast iron skillet. I'm just using it for the fun of it. All right, got my butter in there, or margarine or oil, whichever you would like to use. My canned cinnamon rolls. Cut it into quarters. Then I'm going to take my quarters. Oops, my biscuit dough got my biscuit dough got soft because I sell some of my flowers. You can see them here. I sell my black-eyed Susans, and a lady came and was talking, and nice to meet her, but I had my dough out. There's just about, I don't know, 1/5 of all the black-eyed Susans that I have. So I've been selling those. There's my garden, or part of it. All right, so it's a little bit softer than it normally would be. That's why it didn't cut as well. That's fine. Okay, then I'm going to take and pour a little bit more butter. And just because I want it extra cinnamony, a little bit of extra cinnamon. Then my apple pie filling. And then I'm gonna cut up my apples just to make them smaller. Cut all of that. Kind of evenly distribute everything. I don't know. I think that needs another can of biscuits. I don't know. Should I do another can of biscuits or not? I think I will. Yeah. See how much easier that cuts when they're not soft. there we go. That's a little bit better. Oh, yum. Okay, we're gonna throw this in the oven and bake it. Okay, I put some foil on top just so it didn't get too brown. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks delicious. I take my frosting packet. Always think of my middle son when I have these. He loves his frosting packets. All right. All right, gotta get this all on. I have 2 frosting packets. Oh my goodness. Oh, that looks so good. Recipe is in the description below with baking time and ingredient amounts at livingonadime.com. You can get the link in the description. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. I love apples and I love cinnamon rolls, and oh my goodness, you cannot get a better combination. Oh, yum. Okay, we're gonna have my taste test. This is apple fritter bake.
Yum. I can tell by the smell this is gonna be amazing. Here. Mmm.
Delicious.
It looks very appealing too.
It smells good too, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yum. 2 ingredient apple pie cake recipe. So I have my angel food cake here, the one that says just add water. My apple pie filling. This part is totally optional, but I always add a bit more cinnamon and nutmeg just because I don't think it has enough, but it's totally optional. All right, gonna mix this together. Oh, yum. All right, then we're gonna take our 9x13 pan and grease it. So now we're gonna spread all this around. Now if you want some really delicious apple pie, right here, Dining on a Dime Volume 1, it is the best apple pie you will ever have in pie crust. This one we're just gonna call what? An apple pie cake. How about we call it that? There you go. We're gonna bake this in the oven, then we're gonna come back and cut it. Here is my 2 ingredient apple cake. Now, this is very optional, but if you want, you can add whipped cream or whipped topping. Oh my goodness. Yum, this looks so delicious. Jack, do you want a taste test or do you want Dad to be on camera taste testing? But you want Dad to be the man? You want Dad to be the star? Okay.
I'll try it and see what I think. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Ooh, it smells delicious. Mmm. Yum. That's like an apple pie. That's really good. Mmm. Yum. Super delish.
Hello, today we are making these apple muffins. They are in our Dining on a Dime cookbook right here, 25% off right now on page 444. This is a gift in the jar recipe, but we just make it for regular muffins. My boys absolutely love it. Let's get started. In my new kitchen, I have my flour on shelves now, so I just dip out so I'm not lifting any heavy flour and put it straight into my bowl. There we go. And then here I have all of my utensils, and when I bake I always use just the 1 teaspoon. The reason why I use the 1 teaspoon is because everything either comes in half or 1 teaspoons almost, so I just grab it out and use my 1 teaspoon for everything. So So that's my cinnamon. Then my baking powder. Now don't forget guys, this is why the edge is here for your baking powder to scrape. Right there. Now when you make muffins and breads, put all of your dry ingredients in first. And that way you can mix them all together and you don't have any lumps. If you guys like my labels, I will link those in the description below. I got those pre-made because I don't like making labels. All right, and then salt. So see, just 1/4 teaspoon. I just used the 1 teaspoon. That way I don't have a whole bunch of measuring spoons that I have to clean up. Also, I think my measuring spoons are in there too. If you want to add raisins, I do it now with the dry ingredients. My boys don't like raisins, so I'm not gonna put them in there. So we're gonna get this all stirred up. So see how all the dry ingredients are getting all mixed up. I don't sift or anything like that. I just mix it like this, okay? Then we're going to add our 1 cup of apple juice and 1/2 cup of applesauce. And I got it mixed up, so I'm doing the applesauce first. So I'm just using a 1 cup, whoa! I'm just using a 1 cup measure right there. Now, because we have the applesauce in here, we do not need an egg. Egg is a replacement for applesauce. And so don't worry that there's no egg in there. Now, we don't keep juice on hand a lot, but this was on sale for 87 cents. Whoa! Well, I'm just really getting it all today, aren't I? So, our apple juice is replacing our liquid for our milk. And then I got my real fancy
What's in that container?
oil jar here. Now, it's 2 tablespoons, so I'm just putting 6 teaspoons because 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon. And I forgot my count, so there. I think I'm close. Oops.
So that's just cooking oil?
Just regular vegetable cooking oil. Okay. Now, guys, look at that. Literally took me 5 minutes, and our muffins are all mixed up. And look at the small amount of dishes I have. I will have my muffin tin, but I'm going to use liners for that, so I'm not going to even have to wash my muffin tin unless I spill all over. So, mixing this all together, just like so. Oh, it smells so delicious. Okay. We're in the new kitchen.
I thought they were in there.
Are they in here? Did you see them in here? Oh, there's butter down.
There's one.
That's the mini one. Let's see, where's the regular one? Aha! Found my muffin tins. Okay. So I like this one better. It's my grandma's, but I don't know where the other one is. So now you can also use, if you want a different shape. No, I think I'll do this one today. Okay. You can do squares if you want also. Okay. Now I line my muffin tin with muffin liners. I got these at a yard sale. There was a restaurant going out of business and they had 1,000 of these for $1, so I got those at a restaurant. Then I do squirt my muffin liners with oil. They just seem to come out easier. Okay. For those of you wondering, this is my refillable oil bottle that I got off of Amazon. I will link it in the description below. I love it because it's refillable, so I'm not wasting money on spray cans. This costs me about probably 10 cents to refill versus $3 to $4 for a new spray bottle for the same amount at the grocery store. And now, I'm just going to put in. See guys, you don't need a whole bunch of tools. You can use, I like using an ice cream scoop because it measures really perfectly, but you don't have to use an ice cream scoop. It's just more dishes if you don't like doing dishes. I think the big reason why people don't like, baking is all of the dishes. And so this way, you don't have a whole bunch of dishes. Oh, wow, that one got really skinny. Didn't mean. That's yours, dear. You're on a diet, right? So.
Thanks. I thought you would say that one was mine right there.
Poor Mike, we're doing all these cooking videos. He's like, okay, can we put all this food somewhere else? Because I'm like snacking on everything because it looks so delicious. So I guess that's a compliment. Thanks, dear.
You're welcome.
Okay, so then I just go back in and even out. Because I'm not very good at, well, I guess I'm okay. I'm good at estimating, just not getting it on the spoon to get it in there, I guess is what my problem is. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to put this in the oven, 350 degrees. Now I'm going to put this in here on the top shelf because when the oven preheats, it can burn the bottom of your muffin tin. So I don't want it to burn. So I'm going to put it on the top shelf. It'll be fine while it's preheating. Most of the time I forget to preheat my oven, so it's no big deal. Okay, we're going to set our timer for 20 minutes.
The preheat, if you forget to turn it on, it won't kill anything? It won't hurt anything?
Not usually. Usually what I do is just put it on the top shelf so that if I forget to preheat, the element doesn't burn the bottom of everything. So if you put it on the top shelf, it's fine. It takes like 5 minutes longer to cook. So I just check it at the lowest time just to see, and then I just add a few minutes. Now, as you can see, to make these homemade muffins, I used 1, 2, 3, 4. This is all the dirty dishes I have. This is absolutely nothing to clean up. It literally took me 5 minutes worth of work. And instead of buying these at the store, so these would probably cost me about $6 or $7 at the store. And it probably cost me less than about 75 cents to make these. So that is a significant saving. All right, my muffins have been in, for 20 minutes. Well, my goodness. They're sliding. Okay, so I'm gonna stick in my knife and see, not quite done. So we're gonna go 5 more minutes. I'm sorry, were you waiting for muffins?
Yep.
Anxiously anticipating muffins and they weren't
Yep.
quite done yet? I'm so sorry. So let me explain on the knife here. Can you see, it's really hard to tell, but there's a little bit of batter on the knife and you want your knife to stick in and be perfectly clean. That's how you know your baked goods are finished. So since there's just a tiny bit on there, I'm gonna go ahead and make up my topping and then my muffins will be done. Please give us a thumbs up and a like, guys. This really helps our videos. Also, if you want more videos, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, for the muffin tops, for the butter that we're gonna dip it in, or margarine, I just use margarine because it's cheaper. Oops. So, I'm gonna stick it in a bowl. I'm gonna put it in the microwave with a little cover so it doesn't explode. I'm gonna melt that for just a few seconds. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's done enough. This way, see how the butter got on there instead of all over my microwave. Okay, I have a video on how I make my cinnamon sugar, but I just keep it pre-mixed and I just do cinnamon up here, or I just do, not cinnamon, I do sugar up here, add like 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and then I just mix it around. Oh my goodness, well, how many muffins do I think I'm doing there? Good grief. Okay, you don't need that much cinnamon. My goodness. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, we'll start with that first. Okay, our muffins are done. Right here, take them out of the oven. Now, while they're still warm, you want to dip them in the butter, margarine, whichever you want, and then you're going to dip them in the cinnamon. Just like so. Now, like this one, see how it didn't quite get on the edges, so just go like that. Okay? Voila. Okay, normally I would let them cool just a little bit, but might be easier just to sprinkle the cinnamon on top. Just depends on how you want to do it. That's drywall from our kitchen remodel. Oops. It's okay, a little bit of extra fiber. All right, there we go. Yum. The recipe is in the description below. This next recipe is our apple butter on page 421 in our Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1. I have to say, if I could only have one jam or jelly or whatever you want to call, why do they call it butter? There's no butter in there. But anyway, if I could only have one thing, it would be apple butter. It's my favorite.
It's an apple spread. Nowadays they would have to call it apple spread.
Apple spread. Okay, for this recipe, you are going to take 9 to 10 apples cored, peeled, and chopped. Now, I already have my apples cored, peeled, and chopped, and I froze them because I did not have time to make the apple butter. It was one of those days, you guys know how those days go, and I had started on the recipe and was not able to get finished. So I'm going to make up my apple butter here with my frozen, or was frozen, apples. Now, I am also making a triple batch because I love this so much, and I use this as a sauce for chicken and pork. I suppose you could use it for beef too. I don't ever do that, but you could. But I absolutely love this apple butter, and I use it on everything, including my toast in the morning. Next, what you're gonna do is you're going to put in your sugar. Now, if you want, you could substitute brown sugar. I like it both ways. Okay. This is a triple batch, but I'm not using triple the sugar because these apples are a little sweet, so I'll add sugar later if I need it. Okay, then some cinnamon and my cloves. And then a titch of salt. Yes, you need salt. The reason why you use salt is it brings out the sweetness, okay? Then we're gonna stir this all together. We're going to put it on high for an hour and get all the apples cooked down. And then what I do is I take the immersion blender when I have full apple pieces and I just blend it up after they have softened. And then just let it cook for 9 hours for the day, getting your house smelling all good. And then uncover it and cook it for 1 more hour to let all the excess water out and let it thicken up. And then you have delicious apple butter. Oh my goodness, this is one of my favorite recipes. All right, so we're gonna cook this and then we will be back this evening and show you what it looks like. Okay, my apple butter is done. Now it's late. I'm not gonna show you how I put it in jars, but let me just say I put it in jars, put it in the refrigerator, and then I just eat it. Absolutely delicious.
What do you put it on?
Toast.
Yeah.
Pork chops, chicken, anything you want. Super yummy. I am making some apple cider muffins. I am taking my baking mix. Now, if you want to make homemade baking mix, we have this recipe in our Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1, page 58. And this is the baking mix muffins that are on that same page. And then we have our sugar and our egg and our oil. Then to adapt this recipe, we're going to be using regular apple cider, or you can use apple juice if you want. So we're going to put our water in there. The recipe is in the description below, as always. And then I'm going to add my chopped apple. I also add cinnamon and cloves. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. And a titch of allspice in there. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to eat these. Okay, well, I can't eat these because I'm gluten-free, but I'm gonna taste it anyway because actually this is one of my favorite recipes. Now, we have another recipe if you want to make this totally from scratch. If you want, you could also add walnuts or pecans into your apple cider muffins. My family doesn't like nuts, so we don't. Then I'm putting my muffin liners. Now guys, check garage sales. I got 1,000 of these for $1. I'm never gonna need muffin liners ever again in my entire life. So check garage sales for cooking items. This was a restaurant that was going out of business, so that was a darn tootin' good deal.
Darn tootin' good.
Darn tootin' good. Okay, now I like to spray my muffin liners. You don't have to. I just find that it seems to help a little bit. And then of course my handy dandy ice cream scoop. I always use it for making muffins. You're supposed to fill it about 2/3 full. I never do. Okay, now I have like 1 muffin's worth left. Where do I put it? Because I ain't baking a whole nother batch for 1 muffin. Okay, there we go. As you're cooking, get your stuff soaking so that you don't have hard crusted on food that takes forever to soak off. Just get it off right away. And it'll take literally 20 seconds versus, you know, 5-10 minutes to soak it off later. All right, there we go. Okay, now you can see I slopped all over this, and I did not mean to, and this one is way too full. So I'm gonna move some of that over there. Okay, so clean up all your slops before, because then it's not as hard to clean up afterwards. And then one last touch that I do that is not in the recipe is I take cinnamon and sugar and I sprinkle it on top, and that gives it a nice crunchy top, which I think is everybody's favorite part. And we'll have Mike taste test and see, but I'm gonna tell you, these are so much better than those apple cider donuts you get. Sorry, we went back east and tried apple cider donuts and we were severely disappointed. These will not disappoint you. Okay. Now we're gonna put these in the oven at 400 degrees. Another thing you can do with your apple muffins is, people don't realize this, but you could just put it in a loaf pan, just grease a loaf pan and just cook it for 30 to 40 minutes. You can put it in an 8-inch or 9-inch cake pan, round or square, for about 30 minutes. Also, then you have an apple cider loaf or an apple cider cake if you would prefer. Now, in our Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 1, we also have the recipe Apple Cinnamon Muffin Mix, so you can make this into a gift mix, or you can just make it totally from scratch if you want. And it uses apple juice and apple sauce, but you can just substitute the apple juice for apple cider and it would be just fine. All right, to test if my muffins are done, I'm putting a knife straight in the center and it comes out clean. Should we have Mike test? You want to taste test, dear?
Sure.
Ooh. Okay, we're gonna have to let these cool for just a minute and then we'll taste test.
Those look yummy.
Muffins, the muffins.
Apple muffins, I'm sure. Oh man, they smell really good.
Are they delicious? Hopefully.
Mmm.
I hope so.
These are better than regular apple muffins. These are the apple cider ones?
Yeah.
Oh yum, they're delish.